Please keep in mind that this video does have spoilers. Thanks. Today we're diving back into the neon-lit streets of Night City with Cyberpunk 2077's latest update and DLC. CD Projekt Red dropped a massive 2.0 update in the first, but sadly the last DLC. And you know what? I strapped in for another ride with our boy Keanu Reeves into the chaos of Night City in search of that elusive Platinum Trophy.
We have a city to burn.
Now the game kicked off with a few choices that tweaked the intro scene and where I ended up leading to some special dialogue options depending on my chosen life path.
To this
Trophy!
Chingada madre. Fine. Have it your way.
And after foreshadowing on what's to come, line for line even,
guess dying's a small price to pay for going down in history.
Gotta live like a legend first though, huh? Death. It's nothing but the final flourish.
and spoilers, Jackie's not the protagonist. So V and Jackie meet up with Mr. Deshawn, a fixer who we met earlier in the game that tied in with a bunch of fetch quests like retrieving a spider robot thing, and also getting pressured to partake in some asthma inhalers, I guess.
Come on, gotta lighten up. Take a hit.
Thanks, I'm good.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Straight-edge princess.
The dynamic duo was now set to do the biggest heist of their little criminal careers, and this was to steal a really expensive and experimental memory chip. But after getting the chip, unfortunately, like every cliche storytelling,
Code Red initiated. Attention. Code Red has been initiated throughout Kentucky Plaza.
things did not go as planned, which caused one of our beloved companions, whom I totally didn't forget about, to meet their untimely demise.
Oh, no, not now! I've been made!
The same went for our best friend Jackie, who eventually dealt it to heaven after either getting shot by a f***ing helicopter or jumping off a 1,000-story building only to get cushioned by the sweet caress of broken glass on our way down. With the chip damaged in the chaos, Jackie makes a split-second decision to slot it into his own head to prevent its destruction. Just before biting the bullet, he transfers the chip to V's noggin instead. Now that all our friends were dead, there was still the matter of finishing the job, so I met with Mr. Deshawn only to find him having a midlife crisis because he thought that we chopped off the head of the Arasaka Corporation, not knowing that the boss was strangled by his own son, but since we were there, the blame was naturally shifted towards us. Great. To save his own skin, Deshawn shot me to the grave, which ends the prologue and nabbing me another trophy. Since V had the experimental chip inside his skull, the chip somehow fixed what the bullet went through. Waking up in the landfill, we see Takemura, one of Arasaka's bodyguards, bring Deshawn in to find V's body and eventually off him. Which kinda sucked because I wanted the revenge on a personal level. Eventually waking up from a blackout, Takemura went from captor to ally in mere seconds after finding out that Arasaka wanted him sleeping with the fishes together with Deshawn. Okay, I'll stop. So we took out the assassins and we ended up in Vic's clinic to get repaired. Do we get repaired since almost everyone in this town is part machine, right? I don't know. Vic informs V that the chip on his head is an engram of another guy. And it's not just any guy.
Jesus Christ.
It's John Wick. Not only do we have two personalities now, but the chip is also slowly overriding V's body, which will eventually off him. Our goal now is to find someone who can help V and Keanu Reeves get the chip out of their heads safely. And what better guy to help us with than the guy who made the dang thing, Anders Hellman. To make this happen, we found ourselves another fixer. But this fixer is also Keanu's old fling and friend, so it was pretty easy to sway her. To help us out, she paired us with Panam, whom every gamer simps for. For the right back at you trophy, I needed to cap an enemy who just threw a grenade at us. Trophy! Right back at you. After an incredible night out with the baddest hottie in Cyberpunk history, it was time to go after Hellman. We bomb a local power plant just to emit an EMP large enough to hit Hellman's aircraft, which led the carrier to lose control, so Panam whips out a goddamn rocket launcher. He'll be fine, I think. Carrier crashes, but Panam's little biker gang, the Aldecaldos, didn't know about the plan, so they all drove out to help the carrier.
Battery should sort
Scorpion,
itself out.
it's Pan Am! Don't go near that AV! I repeat, do not approach the AV!
Which some of them died for.
Mitch? He's safe, right?
Ma'am, I'm sorry. I didn't make it in time.
No. No!
Not Scorpion! Turns out Hellman booked it to the nearest gas station as soon as it landed, so we grabbed some bikes and rode over there and straight up deleted folks. I grab Hellman, Panem's crew shows up, and we meet Danny freaking Trejo. We forced Hellman to examine V, and unfortunately he couldn't do about it. But we got a blueprint from him. Forgot what the blueprint was about, but it was important, I think. And after that, we leave to continue for the search of a cure. And that was Hellman's trophy. While on the search, I also managed to craft at least 3 legendary items. Samurai jacked some dudes up, and fixing on becoming the next Terminator. For the trophy, Life of the Road, I had to complete Panem's story, which consists of arguing,
Sure. Just turn around now. Let it all be damned.
saving Danny Trejo, and then arguing some more.
Panam, you're making a mistake. Another
You're
one.
serious right now?
Some important information about our current objective, which for some reason totally passed me by. Falling in love. Ooh, she's really pissed off here.
Stop it!
Doing it inside a goddamn robot. Making up, and then passing out due to exhaustion. Of all the drama this woman has put us through. And that's Life of the Road. The Quick and the Dead trophy has us turning into Quicksilver, except not as impressive. Just leave me alone, man. Just leave me alone. I'm having a bad day. And for this one, I needed to cap at least 50 enemies while time is slowed down. Trophy. The Hermit Trophy had me looking for Alt Cunningham, Keanu's girlfriend. Looking through Keanu's memories, I saw how he got shot in the back while Arasaka kidnapped Alt. And they did this because she was the best netrunner of Night City at the time. Keanu gets revived and then he goes to his fling, Rogue, for help, just to find out that Alt is already dead. Or is she? Yeah, nah, actually, I think she's technically dead. This is also why Keanu pretty much went on that suicide mission to bomb Arasaka Tower, not only because he hates corpos, but because his girl got done in by one. Atom Smasher incapacitated Keanu, and then Arasaka offed him and encrypted his engram in a chip, which is what we currently have in our dome. Anyways, I ran across the Voodoo Boys, who are a bunch of feared hackers in an unlawful part of town, Pacifica. But per usual, I had to help them out first before getting an introduction with the head of the Voodoo Boy. Yeah. They pretty much asked me to clear out Planet Fitness for them, so I did just that. Found out that there's another hacker working for another faction or something. Well, I ended up siding with him because I didn't like this other dude bossing me around and doing all these criminal activities. Look at him smuggling this chicken like it's coke. Sickening behavior. Anyways, I go back to the dude and tell him the job was done, and we end up speaking to the voodoo boss, who's definitely not a boy, I should add. They put me in an ice bath and now I am in the internet. Sweet. I broke through the black wall and here I found Alt Cunningham. Well, her engram, I guess. So it turns out that she also has an idea of how to save V and Keanu from certain doom. But after our lovely chat, I get booted off the Matrix just to find out that the dude we sided with earlier fried the voodoo people into literal fried chicken. That's what you get for doing chicken, kids. You shouldn't do chickens. Chickens is bad. Okay. Chickens are bad. At this point, everyone was aggroed on me for some reason, so I had to slice my way out. But as soon as I walked out, that was the trophy. Shortly after, I got a call from Songbird, asking me to go into Dogtown in hopes of helping her aid the president from a potential ambush. In return, she can get the relic off our head and save our life. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the 100% for the game because of a bug, which I'll get to in a bit. But I started off sneaking into Dogtown while still getting instructed by Songbird. And this is where Mr. Hans is located, by the way. Who knew? I was instructed to meet the president until she went sideways along with the plane she was in. Slicing my way towards the wreckage, I managed to find the president just in time.
Rapid fire! Keep 'em busy!
Trophy. All the president's men. We fought our way to a temporary safe zone so she could contact for help. But just as we were about to make it there, we were ambushed by a crap ton of enemies, until Songbird hacked the Chimera to fight with us. This made the fight trivial to a point where I could have just stood there and watched. But fear crept in as I came to the realization that I was definitely going to have to fight this thing. Spoilers, I did. This boss fight was especially hard for me because I'm rocking a melee build, which this boss not only has tiny little openings where I can hurt it, but whenever it goes down, it deploys drones I couldn't reach with just a sword. And my throwing knives weren't offing them in one hit either, which led me to awkwardly dodging bullets until I got my knives back. As you could tell, this was never going in my favor. So I decided to break my little ninja roleplay for a second just to get through this boss. So I whipped out the 9 and I started blasting. Bro. Well, that didn't work either, but as America has taught me, if a gun can't solve your problem, get a bigger gun.
Rust and piss, bot.
Trophy! God dang. Now that we've made it to the safe house, it was time to sit back and relax. Oh, and she also made me into a secret agent.
Wait, back up. Tell me I'm a special agent now.
That's right. Taking the oath make it feel more real.
Hence, the cliche spy thriller is now in full effect. I was then told to look for her sleeper agent who could further help us in this situation. Cue in Idris Elba. And from a street thug, we are now a spy for the government in less than a day.
You're not in the biz, V. Our biz.
Actually, I am. Though just since yesterday.
But it won't be a spy thriller without some drama, and it turns out that our boy Reed, aka Mr. Alba, had another partner besides Songbird back in the day. And it was up to us to reunite the band to save their former teammates from abduction. Now it was time to save Songbird, and to do that we needed the Netrunner good enough to breach the Black Wall, so we can get in contact with her. And if you played this game before, breaching the Black Wall is pretty much frying your circuits out, which results in...
Jack him out, Reed! Unplug slider! Now! It's over. You short-circuited.
Yeah, but this didn't stop us from being cool super spies. And in the process of all this, I ended up getting the Gun Fu trophy for blasting 3 dudes in quick succession. After getting access to Hansen's private party, Hansen is the current leader of Dogtown, you know, the same guy who blasted the president of the NUSA's plane. Yeah, that guy. Anyways, we found out that Songbird, the person we've been trying to save, is currently with Hansen and not actually kidnapped. Spy thriller. But she then claims that she is his captive and that she's just playing along to not get DED'd. Which already at this point I thought she was extremely sus. Reed figured out that Songbird is playing both sides, and because she is ill and doesn't have long for this world, she needs something that Hansen has to save her life. But for her to pull that off, she needs us to infiltrate Hansen's private meeting so we can steal the tech that Songbird needs. And for us to pull that off, we need to steal the identities of the people who are invited to said meeting. In a typical espionage fashion, we tried to get to know the targets so we can abduct them later. Unfortunately, Hansen did figure out that we weren't invited to the party and that he knows we're working for the government. But instead of dealing with us then, he just asked us to leave unharmed. Which obviously didn't happen, but not because he instructed so, but because we smacked up one of the guards' best friends when we were breaking in here, I guess. So I sliced my way out of there, not in a typical espionage fashion, but in the bloodshed type of fashion. Now that we have our intel, I did have to wait for Reed to call me back when everything is good to go. So off I went, finishing side quests throughout the game, which eventually got me the True Soldier trophy for blasting 300 enemies using ranged weapons. Trophy. But now it was time for the planning phase, where we pinpoint the twins' car and carjacking it. But before all that, Songbird reached out trying to convince me to betray my team to save her own hide. Which now gave me another option for the ending, and unfortunately for her, I don't side with traitors. Before the big heist, I ended up drinking with Alex just to reduce the tension, which resulted in us dancing together, and also it resulted in me having to painfully watch V dance. Now that the plan is set in motion, I had to pinpoint the target's car and hide in their trunk, where I ended up hacking their vehicle to where I could control it.
Back in the car now.
La voiture, quelqu'un en a pris le contrôle.
Emmerich, sonne l'alarme! On a besoin d'aide! Je vais localiser le vecteur.
Ok, une seconde. C'est fait.
Putain, allez! J'essaie de reprendre le contrôle!
Now that I've driven the targets to our hideout, it was time to steal their identity using some high-tech facial stealer thingy. Spy thriller! I was going to side with Reed and Alex until I found out that they were both insane in the membrane.
What in the You wiped them.
What'd you think we'd do? Bind their hands with duct tape, shove socks in their mouths, and wait for them to wriggle free and call for help?
After successfully infiltrating Hansen's secret meet, it was time to make a decision on whether or not to.
Lincoln now.
I'm with you, Somi.
And as for Hansen, well... God damn! After escaping with Songbird, I once again had to wait for her call to proceed with the rest of the story, which I ended up getting V for Vendetta for capping an enemy within 5 seconds after getting revived. Trophy! V for Vendetta, I can't see. I then get a call from Songbird asking me to help her go to the moon so the doctors there could save her life with the device she stole from Hansen. Once again, in a typical spy thriller scenario, Reed was actually waiting for us there, now giving me 2 choices on whether to give Songbird up and Reed would help V get rid of the chip inside of him instead, or... well... that. Now that we've sent Songbird on her way, that was the King of Wands trophy and the Phantom Liberty story wrapped up. Since the rest of the story related trophies for the Phantom Liberty are missable, I just had to save scum my way to the 100%. So I load my game again and chose a different outcome. Having Reed live, it actually gave us another ending for the main story of the game, which is truly wonderful since all the endings for Cyberpunk are depressing as hell. So I ended up doing that first just to see if CDPR actually gave our boy V the proper ending that he deserves. The new ending did fix the issue of V not going to heaven in every possible outcome. But after being in a hospital for months, to save V, the doctors had to remove all of his implants so his body can function again. Going back to Night City, V has realized that everything has changed. Like Vic selling out to the corpos they once were fighting against, and having all of his friends think that he's already dead. And not only that, but from absolutely being an unstoppable force, V is now back to being a regular squishy human being with 0 implants, which resulted to this. V got knocked out by some random thug on the streets, and now I'm thinking if this is exactly what a good ending feels like. Personally, I'm glad that our character gets to live again, you know, but at what cost? And that's the tower for surviving Night City and starting a new life. Going back to my save scumming ways to get the rest of the endings, something happened that made me pull the brakes in going for the 100%. My game crash. I have a plan though. Might work, might not. Since that save file is 2.1, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to save another save. And now it's in 2.2. So now it's gonna load the 2.2. Now that it's not a 2.1, see if that works. All right. This is what stinks about it. I'm like, I just want the 100%, but now I can't get the 100% because this is stuck. This is just stuck. But I still ended up finishing all of the Mr. Hansen's quests, unlocking all the perks in the relic tree, and completing every gig in Dogtown. But after the initial grind, I really didn't feel like playing through the whole Phantom Liberty again just to get 2 of its story-related trophies. So I had to scrap that idea, and I ended up going back to the base game and working on getting the platinum. So from here on out, the trophy counter is going to be way off, because that's a lot of trophies that I just didn't do for the Phantom Liberty. Anyways, doing all this, however, expedited the process of reaching my maximum street cred. For the High Priestess, I had to talk to Hanako Arasaka, the daughter of the late Saburo Arasaka, head of the Arasaka Corporation, and the murderer of the Johnny Silverhand. Takemura wanted to kidnap her so he can explain that V was framed for the murder of Saburo, and that her brother, the reigning Universal Choking Your Own Father champion, and the new head of the table, Yoronobu Arasaka, was actually the one who sent his father to the gulag. But things went sideways when the special ops blasted through the whole dang building to save Hanako, and now Takemura and myself were wanted more than ever. After getting away, we looked for the nastiest looking motel in Night City and decided to hold up there. for some reason. But Hanako still knew we were there, but she sent a doll to transmit her proposition, asking V to help her stop Yorinobu. After that brief dialogue, I got the trophy and also unlocking the point of no return. Before we finish the main story, it's time to clean up on all our miscellaneous trophies, starting with purchasing all the vehicles in the game. Completing all the gigs and NCPD scanner hustles all over Night City's districts like City Center and Haywood. While working on the other districts, I ended up maxing a skill for 10 out of 10, and shooting an enemy grenade in mid-air with a revolver.
Got some for you right here!
Trophy! Also getting a collateral using a sniper rifle. Trophy! And laying down the law on all the cyber psychos in the city, which are personally my favorite side missions in the game. Now it was time to clean up all the gigs and NCPD hustles in Westbrook, and in Watson, and Santo Domingo. While out and about, I also found all the tarot graffitis found around the city, and getting all the gigs and hustles in the Badlands. At some point in the story, Johnny gave me his dog tag, and for the trophy Breathtaking, I need to collect all of the items once belonged to him, including this sweet-ass Porsche. But after picking up the last piece of clothing, that's another trophy in the bag. Since we're already dressed up as Johnny, might as well go on a date with Rogue for some Bushido and chill.
Rogue's gone.
Yep.
Guess things did not go swimmingly.
Nope. Movie was a turd wrapped in crepe paper.
Bushido and chill. And finishing the final district of gigs and NCPD hustles in Pacifica. For Judy versus Night City, I had to complete her side quest. Her quest begins with looking for Evelyn Parker after the heist at the beginning of the game went in shambles, only to find out that Evelyn has been sold off to a not so friendly looking individuals. We then save Evelyn only for her to take her own life, be it because of shame or whatever they did to her was really messed up. This forced Judy to start a revolution against the sex industry, in which I ended up doing what I normally do with my sword. Then we started swimming and reliving her childhood and stuff. It was sweet, I guess. I have a panic attack underwater, like in real life, and we ended the night with a nice cup of coffee and went to bed. Yup, nothing happened, just sipping some coffee and then we slept.
It's been nice knowing you, V. See ya. And hit me up on the holo sometimes.
Trophy. To protect and serve is to finish River's storyline, and just want to point out that this storyline is one of my favorites. After the initial introduction with River regarding the incident with Lucius Rhyne, he gave us a call asking for our services as a merc to help him uncover the case about his abducted nephew, Randy. And with the abductor shot by the NCPD, we now had to find clues to where he held the kids captive. Even as far as reading Randy's emails and how he got bamboozled and kidnapped, which was pretty cool and eerie at the same time. After getting hold of the abductor's brain dance, we were able to pinpoint the exact location on where Randy might be, which we eventually found him strapped into this machine inside a barn. Yeah, this whole thing is super messed up.
Tell Randy, hey.
Will do. See you later, V.
Trophy. And in the process, we found all the fast travel terminals across the map. To bad decisions. This questline is my least favorite out of everything in this game. Yeah, so you pretty much have to help Carrie get revenge on the Powerpuff Girls for stealing his music and making it their own. So we blow up a van filled with the instruments that they used to play, okay? And obviously that didn't really affect the band at all, so his next big idea is to break into one of their concerts and go backstage and literally bust a cap in their asses. Oh, but get this, he finds out that they're all big fans of his anyways.
Can we get a pic with you? Just as a souvenir?
Why the hell not? V, do the honors.
Let's get one with all of us.
Hang on, let's get a selfie.
What the fuck? This man is just standing like a freaking zombie. So the next scene we see him on, he's with the Powerpuff Girls. He sold out! Brother! What are you talking about? There's other quests, I think, after or before this, but his stuff is so forgettable that I literally forgot about it already. Except for the final scene for trashing his manager's yacht, and that was pretty much it. Seriously, like, this dude sucks.
Let's get out of here before the wind flips and we get flooded by that stench. Need a ride?
Of course I do.
Come on now.
Trophy. Too bad decisions. But we still have a couple of miscellaneous trophies, but let's go ahead and wrap up the main story for this game. For the Temperance trophy, we'll let Johnny keep our body in the end, and the world is beating the main storyline. For the final quest line, we get 4 choices, which used to be 3 before the Phantom Liberty update. So I chose Johnny to take the wheel for this whole operation, which led us to planning an attack at Arasaka Towers with Rogue. Unfortunately, someone will get delted out of the game depending on what choice you make. And for this choice, Rogue is our unfortunate soul for Mr. Adam the Smash.
Rogue! Bastard Smasher!
But once we beat Smasher, it was time to enter the Matrix and decide on our protagonist's fate. I ended up doing this ending first because it is my preferred ending for the game, even with the newly added ending. Even if V is technically set to perish, his engram would still be alive with Alt, while Johnny gets to live to see another day. I just preferred this ending due to the fact that all the other endings has V on a short timer anyways, while putting Johnny off. It's kind of a waste just to get a couple more months to live. This way, at least one person gets to live, and the fact that in the ending, Johnny is seen turning a new leaf and hopefully live a better life than he once had. The Sun Trophy is to become a legend of the afterlife. Here we make the choice to have V take back his body again. But from the looks of this ending, we can clearly see that he is already having a fallout with Pan Am due to them not seeing eye to eye anymore. Yeah, V is now the new legend of Night City, taking over Rogue's place, but at the last scene we can see V going to a space station, and from what it looks like, is going to be a point where he could not go back. An ending fit with those who wants to go out with a bang. But the outcome stays the same either way. For the Devil Trophy, we have to help Takamura avenge the death of Saburo Arasaka. This is one of those highly missable trophies because somewhere in the middle of the game we had to go back and save Takamura, which the game doesn't really tell you that that's an option in the first place. But when given the choice, I just had to pick the side with Arasaka, and after Smasher has been dealt with along with Yorinobu, even if you don't off him, the game will still see it as avenged. Also, the trophy pops literally after this scene, and if you've played the game, you know that this scene is like a 5-minute walk. And at this point, I just wanted to wrap up the story so I can finish the rest of the trophies that I'm missing. I mean, you guys aren't really missing out on anything regarding the final cutscene for this ending. It's just V stuck on a space station and finding out that no one could actually cure him anyways. And it's just a scene of him looking down at Earth and then going to black. Yeah, just nothing special. And for the last ending, the Star, this is to leave Night City with the Aldecaldos. For most people, this is the best ending because you get to enjoy the remainder of your days with the people you love. When given the choice, we just phone in Pan Am for backup, and the Aldecaldos basically breaches the tunnel leading towards Arasaka Towers. And honestly, they all risk their lives here. And I mean literally, like there's multiple casualties.
Okay, Bobby, the Panzer's moving again. Hang tight, we're coming for you. Fine. I was starting to miss you all. One son of a left, and he's the Bobby. Jesus Christ, Bobby! Bobby, do you read? We have to go. Sorry, Mitch. Can't afford to stop. Not now.
I mean, all those good men, and for what? Just for V to literally be the same? Which is crazy. It's actually crazy. And not only that, but Saul actually gets the Rogue treatment here too. Like, seriously, all these casualties. For what? Again, not super crazy about this ending either, but hey, at least Panem is happy for now, I suppose. Now on to the miscellaneous trophies that I missed, like Must Be Rats, where we need to distract 30 enemies without drawing attention to ourselves. I don't think I've used this quick hack in this game once, mainly because I just rushed in there to chop some melons. But I basically just looked for a populated area and started spamming the distract quick hack over and over again against these dudes. It's just a prank, bro. Trophy. For the Christmas tree attack trophy, I need to complete a breach protocol with at least 3 daemons uploaded. This one is purely RNG, I think, because you can't always have all daemons unless I'm just stupid, and I'm pretty sure that there are certain puzzles here that physically won't let you do so. So I went to a random place with a locked computer and saved my game so I can keep loading back in, and hopefully I can get this one sometime soon. For the Daemon in the Shell trophy is for blowing up at least 3 enemies with 1 detonate grenade quick hack. Again, I didn't have a Netrunner build, so I had to actually look for a spot to do this on. As I was about to look up a guide to get this, I managed to find a bunch of people dancing, and just so happens that they're also counted as enemies. And just to be extremely sure, I activate this quick hack on multiple people. Merg. Trophy. And for the last trophy, I need to perform a superhero landing to smash at least 2 enemies while Berserk is active. And these were my attempts. Yes, attempts. Stop freaking demolishing this one woman. I did end up looking it up, and just so happens that someone on the comment section mentioned something about this. So I dedicate this platinum trophy to that one guy that said you need to have a blunt weapon to be able to do this. Knowing myself, I had to end the video with a bang. Trophy! Hide the dick. Nice. Rough landing. Let's go. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed your time watching, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And with that being said, here's a teaser for the next video. You'll have a phenomenal one. Trophy!
Jill, come on! Chris, this way. Make for that mansion!